Don't forget Saturday. You want them all to be in one place.
Okay, so episode 3 and 4? Holy shit. Holy shit, these episodes this week were crazy. Episode 3 is Behind Closed Doors. Episode 3 starts right after episode 1 and 2. Starts, Charlie freaking the fuck out, running, telling everybody about what Emily told her. She tells everyone about Pentious being redeemed, what Emily told her. Cherry doesn't believe it. She's still grieving. Everyone else is like, yeah, that makes sense. She also talks with Vaggie. She sees Vox Tech slandering her on a blimp, and her immediate response is to message Vox Tech. Yeah, Charlie's a bit manic this episode. Before that, though, Cherry has her little thing. She's still grappling with Pentious. She doesn't believe that he's been redeemed. Then she talks to Baxter. We learn that Baxter and Pentious were partners at one point.
Oh, so you were like...
Closeted gay fish.
Uh-huh.
It's giving Francis. He's even got the haircut.
And Pentious evidently was always a bit of a softie. He was very defensive of his egg boys when Baxter tried to experiment on them. There was this one scene with them showing off their creations, and like Zestial tested them. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. I don't fully understand. And so Vox Tech shows up. Vox and Velvet, the big guns, show up. Vox shows up. Alistair immediately disappears.
Where's Alistair?
Alistair? I mean, he's right.
Fucking whore. Gone.
Gone.
Bye.
They start grilling Charlie. Charlie drops the news that she heard from a little angel. That an angel told her that Pentious had been redeemed and he was up in heaven. She can't exactly prove that, though. So in order to prove to Vox that redemption works, she decides to speedrun redemption. And her candidate for redemption speedrun is Angel Dust. Which is... We get a little interesting moment. Angel does not like Vivi's period. Of course he doesn't. He is very hesitant about going into this. Though Husk encourages him, and he ends up deciding to do it. We have the first song of episode 3. Speedrun to redemption. Oh shit, there's also the, Charlie sits with the V's in their little circle demonstrating their, like, confessionals. Which is just seeing Vox and Velvet in a friendship circle with Charlie is so funny. And so we get the Speedrun to Redemption song. Charlie has no idea what she was doing. Charlie has no idea what she's doing. There's this sweet little moment where she says to Angel that you're not bad, you're just misunderstood, and they smile, and then we just get back to the rest of the song. Charlie's losing it a little. Before Speedrun to Redemption, we get Piss. That is the title of the song. And it's a little love song between Cherry and Pentious. Just reminiscing on the rivalry and how they miss each other. And so Cherry decides to stay at the hotel and try to redeem herself to see Pentious again. So I'm really excited to see how that happens. So in the Speedrun to Redemption song, Charlie realizes that there needs to be some kind of big event for Angel to redeem himself. So Charlie becomes the diabolical Danny Do-Bad and straps Husk to a train, and Angel has to save him. Angel doesn't want to, because it's a bit much, and so he backs out, and then Vox, of course, in typical trope fashion, cuts the brakes, and so Angel does have to run in and save Husk. He tried to get Husk free, but he wasn't able to, and so he stands in front of the train, and then Vaggie comes in and saves them both. Husk is upset that Angel would throw everything he worked for away for him, and Angel is upset that Husk is upset for Angel trying to save his life. And so Husk ends up storming off, and we get Vox. Oh god, Vox. Hold on. Charlie finally realizes that Pentious' redemption was unique to him, and that what you have to do for redemption is to take an action that redeems your own sin. Angel is very reluctant to talk about what he did to land him in hell, And Vox, God, I love Vox this episode. He is such a good villain. He is such a good foil for Charlie. Like, they both want people behind them, but their approach is so different. You know, back to Hazbin guarantee and trust us. Charlie is, we trust you, I believe in you. Vox is trust us, believe in us, follow us. Charlie wants to use her power to make the people around her better, while Vox wants us to use the power of the people around him to make him better. Which is, I love it. I love it. So Vox reveals to everyone in the room that Angel Dust had committed murder. He murdered his dad. We don't know why. I assume it was some kind of heat of the moment thing. I probably wasn't like premeditated or anything. It might have been, but there's a lot of justifiable reasons to kill someone. That is such a weird way to say. Murder is bad, okay? Killing people is bad. But there are certain circumstances where it's an understandable action to take. I do not condone murder and violence. Please do not commit murder and violence, please. And so Vox starts pushing Angel, kind of berating him. And then Charlie steps in. Gets Vox and Velvet to leave. There's this really... Vox walks up to Charlie and says, one more thing. Do you think I could be redeemed? And then Charlie, steadfast, never retreating on her beliefs, says that she believes everyone is capable of redemption. And so that's the end of the Visa Hazbin Hotel. And I love it. I love it. I am frothing at the mouth. I love Charlie as a character. I love Vox as a character. I love their interactions. Ooh. And so then they doctor a bunch of footage, make it look like Charlie's this horrible person who struck Velvet with an open fist.
When we arrived at the hotel, the vibe was definitely off.
That is you. Oh my
Velvet,
god.
it's just Velvet with a deep voice.
Next thing I knew, she struck me.
They have content that could make this believable, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah, this is terrible. And a bunch of people start checking out of the hotel, but Cherry, after what she went through this episode, checks in. So that's really nice. So that despite losing a bunch of people, she still gains like someone genuinely dedicated to their redemption. And I think that's a lot of the themes following Charlie, is that you have to be authentic, even if it harms you. In the long run, it shows you who your real friends are. And that might be the overarching theme of this season, but you know, we're only halfway through, we'll see. And with that message, Cherry and Angel have a little just talk on the balcony. Well, not talk, because Angel doesn't want to talk about it, but you know, they just share space together. So that's nice. And then that is the end of episode 3. I'm going to take a break. I am sick as hell, and then I'll get back and I'll get over to episode 2. Okay, see you there. Episode 4 is titled It's a Deal. It is a very Alistair-centered episode, which my reaction partner thoroughly enjoys. Oh, I loved that episode so much. I love...
My man! Play it now. Now!
Jess is taking the Tide boosted test.
Fuck off! Get out of the way!
Charlie takes Nifty with her to 666 News to try and clear the hotel's name. Girl, give it a rest. Please. So we have Alistair's solo scene.
Hello?
Oh. Of him in his room. He's still scarred, and he's using his stitches to stitch up the wound. And those stitches are very similar to the stitches on his smile during the deal in episode 7 of season 1. So it bears the question if Alistair actively stitched his mouth that way. I don't know, food for thought. Alistair goes down, and Lucifer and Alistair have a bit of back and forth. Alistair ends up quitting the hotel and storming off. And then we cut to 666 News. Charlie meets Katie Killjoy for the first time, because it's like, nice to meet you. Nice to finally meet you. So I think that all but decanonizes the pilot. I think overall we should treat the pilot as like soft canon, where we just assume the events in the pilot happened until something proves otherwise. Because it is very clear that the setup for the hotel and Alistair joining all happened. Probably similar to how it did in the pilot. But, you know, the pilot's old, it's the older version of the story, they're probably retconning the pilot as they go through. Which is understandable. It's not like... Because the pilot isn't official material. It's, a pilot is a pitch of the show, so it's not like... It's not like the pilot is super plot important. Or it shouldn't be, anyway. Nifty has a bunch of signs to help Charlie. One sign says, kill yourself, with a bunch of hearts on it. Moving on to Alistair going to Cannibal Town. Love his outfit. It looks terrible in the thumbnail, but like the outfit as a whole looks great on him. He goes to Rosie. He says he decided to quit the hotel. Before he gets cut off by Rosie, he says we haven't gotten any closer to... So I am curious. So we also learned in this episode the extermination started 7 years ago. Alistair disappeared 7 years ago, and so did Lilith. So there's some kind of hell heaven wide conspiracy happening with that. I don't think I can really extrapolate the nature of what happened, but in any case, it is very nice to see all this unravel. Rosie cuts him off. So we get a bit of Alistair backstory.
Oh my god.
I
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh! I'm fine.
No, you're not.
The hair, the hair, the hair.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the hair. Oh my god, the hair.
He had his own radio show and all that. He was a serial killer. Killed anyone who, like, slighted him at all. He calls Rosie into the living world, and Rosie offers to make him the strongest sinner in hell, but he has to complete a task for her, which we don't know entirely what that task is, but I'm sure more will be revealed. And so Alistair goes on about how, despite being the quote-unquote strongest sinner in hell, he is very lacking in power. Rosie brings up, you know, what is an overlord to an archangel? You know, Adam's the first man. Kinda hard for anybody to compete with that guy. I mean, Charlie's the princess of hell. She couldn't even, like, do any real damage to that guy. Lucifer had to kick his ass. So, Alistair and Rosie sings a song. Very clearly they have sung this song and dance time and time before. Titled Don't You Forget. Gets reprised later in the episode, which is... I gotta wait to talk about that. There is the imagery of Alistair being thrown in this cage with Rosie sitting on top of it. He does use that cage later in the episode for Vox, when he offers his deal to Vox. And so Alistair ends up walking off because, you know, he doesn't have much choice. He has to go back to the hotel. He stands in front of the Lilith, Lucifer, and Charlie statue as he comes up with his idea. What the connection of that is, I honestly don't know. I don't think I can really predict anything in the show anymore. I'm just along for the ride at this point. You know, it's good to have a show that keeps you on your toes. Never know what to expect. More 666 news. Charlie's really bad at PR. She needs a PR manager, and her PR manager needs to be Vaggie. She ends up letting slip how, like, they were, the clips of the episode in the Hazbin Hotel were taken out of context, and then was like, they could make me say, oh, I hate sinners, and they should all die, and they deserve extermination. Girl, shut the fuck up. So, Katie Killjoy takes that and runs with that. Charlie panics, grabs Nifty, pushes her in front of the camera, completely forgets that she cannot talk to cameras. And then, so she tells Nifty to imagine the camera as a roach. And Nifty bursts into the most batshit insane musical number this show has ever seen. Clean it up. It goes through like 3 different animation styles. It turns Japanese. There's this one scene. So Nifty's talking about like how dirty it is, dirty the Hazbin Hotel is, and how she loves cleaning it. And Charlie's like, can you help differently, please? And so then Nifty breaks into full Japanese anime opening. Holy shit. And so then we move on to the fight scene. Listen. I grew up on shonen anime. I will go feral for any kind of fight action. And boy, was I losing it this entire scene.
Would want the public to see me put him in his place a second time.
What?
Oh!
Ooh.
Ooh! Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, I love that he's still glitching on the video.
Yeah.
Ooh! Ooh!
Ooh.
Oh! Ooh! Oh, that's so cool. He's got magic tricks. So Alistair walks up, challenges Vox. He's like, "Hey, yo, cut the shit." And so, then Vox and Velvet show up. They start fighting. Al is severely handicapped. His staff doesn't work right. He can't use his powers to their full extent. We get to see a lot of the V's power sets. Vox uses, like, electrokinesis to teleport and zip around. He uses, like, cords and cables in a similar way to Al's tentacles, which is very fitting because, you know, later we learn that he took a lot of inspiration from Alistair, you know, like a copycat serial killer would. So it makes sense that they have very similar power sets and, like, just overall styles. Valentino shows up, makes a little smoke screen, shoots at him, lands a kick square in Alistair's stomach. Then Velvet shows up. I love Velvet's style. I love her use of, like, social media as well as, like, glyphs and magic. Oh, we do see earlier in episode 3, her making love potions. Like, in, like, a whole witch costume. I heard from a friend that she was killed during the Salem witch trials. I don't think that was said anywhere in the show, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. Velvet makes a little glyph bow, shoots a bunch of arrows. Alistair does a little shadow thing, knocks her into a car. And then Vox shows up again. They are not giving him, like, a second to breathe. I like that. I like their synergy. They don't fight together, they fight separately, but in a way that it doesn't give their opponent any breathing room. I really like that. And so, Alistair calls for help. Nifty sees on the screen the fight scene. Nifty storms off, grabs Husk, just speeds off, throws Husk at Velvet. Velvet and Husk start fighting. Husk's power set is so cool. I love his magic tricks. He turned into a card. He did a little box thing. He came out of a hat, shot flowers at Velvet. That was so cool. Nifty is just a little gremlin. So Vox, Valentino, and Velvet inevitably end up overpowering all their opponents, including Vox overpowering Alistair. And so Alistair offers a deal, which was absolutely the intention from the start, that he would be Vox's prisoner, and in exchange, Vox couldn't lay a hand on Charlie Morningstar, which is interesting, very interesting. So we don't know entirely the nature of this deal, what he's trying to do. I personally think what he's trying to do is either A, like, exchange one prison for another. Imagine hating your job so much that you get enslaved by another corporation just to get out of it. Either he's, like, trying to create a bit of a paradox where he's, like, imprisoned. He's, like, a prisoner to two different people and see how those contradict and try and use that to break out of both of their deals. I'm not entirely sure how that would work. There's also, I think personally, Alistair challenged the V's knowing he would lose, so that he could turn to Rosie and say, hey, don't look like the strongest sinner in hell no more, do I? To try and, like, null their deal. So I think it's one or the other. The fact he's willing to humiliate himself like this to get out of this deal is very telling for his character. Bro does not like being caged. Vox has an entire, like, Alistair humiliation campaign. Goes on every news network. Confirms Alistair does not have a tail, which some people are upset about.
He's so fucking cute. He's fucking. I hate.
Have a tail. Well, that's gonna piss some people off.
Yeah, it pisses me off.
He has he's strapped to, like, an office chair with a frowny face mask. It's so funny. Bro is going through it. Charlie is so confused about what's happening. Girl does not understand. Vox takes Alistair a bunch of places. There's this one scene of Vox drinking out of, like, 2-straw cup. Alistair is not drinking out of it, so Vox is just kind of pretending to himself, I guess. Vox puts him in the cuck chair.
What do you think, Alistair?
Oh my god, it's in the cup chair.
And so Vox tries to interrogate Alistair to try and figure out how he was so strong so fast. Alistair says the deal was that he would be the prisoner. And that specifically, there was nothing that said that he had to tell him anything. Then Alistair tries poking at his buttons, brings up how Vox relies on the V's, how he's powerless on his own, brings up how he tried the same thing with Alistair, and there's this little flashback of Alistair and Vox having a conversation. Younger Vox is so cute. There's this one scene where he, like, just inches just a little closer to Alistair. He is so gay. So he's, like, really hopeful, really optimistic. So he really looked up to Alistair. He emulated a lot of his style off of Alistair. And so he offers to Alistair that they could have a partnership and work together to rule all of hell. And Alistair laughs in his face. Starts berating him. Vox says, you know, I thought we were friends, so it would just make sense. And Alistair says, probably my favorite line we've heard from Alistair, maybe my favorite line in the whole show, there are no friends in hell, Vincent. And it's really interesting to dissect that line, how it kind of shows Alistair's character, how he doesn't, there are no friends in hell. He doesn't view himself on equal footing with anybody. That there is no, like, safe place in hell. There is no companionship, that you have to take everything for yourself down here. And so then there's the end of that flashback. And then we have, and then it goes straight into Don't You Forget Reprise, which is my favorite song, probably of the whole show. There's so many, like, motifs. We get the leitmotif from Once We Get Up There. We get, it's a reprise of Don't You Forget. He says, the show must go on. And then there's also a bit of Stayed Gone in there. There's a lot of, like, leitmotifs. Across, especially in Season 2, I feel like I've noticed it a lot more. There's a lot of leitmotifs from different songs and different characters. So, like, every time people talk about Penchus, you get Penchus' leitmotif. When Alistair and Vox confront each other in this episode, there's, like, the leitmotif of Stayed Gone in the background. I love that. That's my favorite thing about musicals, using, like, motifs and stuff. Using motifs and stuff to, like, control your perception of the scene based on the other things that motif was associated with before. Vox is just reveling in his victory here. Alistair tries to do his, like, typical thing of, like, stealing the spotlight of a song, making it a duet. Very interesting. Vox, at the very least, doesn't show that he cares all that much. That what Alistair's doing doesn't affect him anymore. And so it really takes it takes, like, all of Alistair's power out of this situation. Which I am... Alistair is the real Hazbin of Hazbin Hotel. So that's the end of the song. My favorite song so far. I really loved it. I wish I could talk about it more, but it's so cool. Half of my notes on here are just, it's so fucking cool. It's a cool song. You should listen to it. I've been looping it, like, the past few days. Yeah, so that's the end of episode 4. Absolute wild ride. I'm really excited to see where the show goes from here. I hope you enjoyed the reviews. I'm trying to edit them more. I hope you liked the reactions I've put in. I actually balanced the audio this time so I could put more Quicksilver and I's reactions to the episode in there. I hope y'all enjoyed those clips. Overall, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really excited for next week. I have been. This season of Hazbin Hotel has been insane. I'm so excited to see where it goes next. So I'll just see you guys in the next review. Bye-bye!